want to make a quick video. I'm actually watching. So there's this redhead chick from I I think she's from Life After Lockup or Love After Lockup. I think, but she's a pretty, I don't know, popular personality on the YouTube. And the latest video of hers, at least that I saw, and it was suggested to me by YouTube. I don't follow this chick or anything like that. Um, but the latest video is that of a female officer, a fat female officer, coming up to her while she's sitting on the side of the road, and doing her makeup or whatever, and telling her she has to go. She's sitting on a sidewalk. Now, granted, this chick's homeless and she's a nuisance to some degree, but as she said, look, I'm not even doing anything. I'm just sitting here doing my makeup. I'm not shooting up. I'm not trashy. There's no trash around me. We take care of us, you know. And I'm pregnant. She said, I'm pregnant. Imagine how they treat people that fall into those categories. But I see it all the time. And you have to ask yourself, like, what would make a female be a police officer to begin with? You know, you'd have to have a pretty decent chip on your shoulder to be willing to give up the life that a female, like, let's just be honest, females can have different lives than men can have much more easily. You know, you just have to be attractive to someone, and you can basically live a decent life. So, and of course, what you see all the time is mostly ugly female officers. Mostly, every once in a while you see a hot chick, and even then you go, like, what happened to you? You know, what wrong are you? What chip on your shoulder do you have that makes you somebody who could definitely do different things with their lives, go to put your life on the line every day? And I have a healthy respect for the idea of the police. You know, that I definitely think we need some sort of policing mechanism in our society, especially with the society that chosen give us. You know, a lot of things would have to change before we could get rid of the police. But I absolutely don't think females should be allowed to be patrol officers. I mean, think about it. Like, yes, there are some women that when they're on their period, you don't really notice. There are some, I'm not going to deny that. And then there are some extreme, like, it's obvious they're a completely different person, they're mean, they're all these things. And then there's a lot of people in between, a lot of women in between, somewhere in between that. And to think that once a month you go through this week of shit, and it's not like they vet that. It's not like they they do a background check and say, okay, let's ask everyone how this chick is when she's on her period. So there's that irrational aspect of things, and it's funny because, like, you always see this with females. Like, females will say, "Oh, I'm on my period. My head's not working right. Oh, I'm on my period. I'm more irritable, or this, that, and the other." As soon as you say it, "Oh, you must be on your period," and they are, especially when they are. They're like, "Oh my god!" They take it to the next. They take it to some crazy level. You can't say that. You can't. Yeah. Why? Let's just be honest about things. You literally go through a really awful experience. I can't imagine if I consistently bled once a month. Like, that would be fucking gross. And the hormones that come with it and all that, it would be an awful experience. I would be irritable if I went through that. So there's that. Then there's the physical aspect of things. I've always said, look, if I'm a three-strike criminal and I'm looking at going to prison for the rest. I got two strike criminal, and I get pulled over, and I've got a bunch of dope in the car or something like that. I am 100% more likely to try to, you know, get away when it's a female officer. There's this one video, it's from like the 90s. And it shows this female officer pull over this, it's a little white chick, and she pulls over this huge black dude in a van. And as she brings the dude from the van to the front of her car, he has his hands on the front of her car, and I think she's going to, like, she decides she's going to put him in cuffs, and he's like, wait a minute, what? Boom! And he just lays her out. And then he jumps on her, and you can hear the, I mean, it's a disgusting sound. It really is. You can hear the thuds of him hitting her with his, like, this is through the microphones, through the camera, and this is in the 90s. And you can still hear the boom, boom, as he's just blasting her to bits. He's beating the tar out of her, man. And all of a sudden, his daughter comes running out. She's, oh, my God. And he gets up, and he goes, no, get in the van, get in the van. And they get in the van, and they drive off. And then some bystanders stop, and they call in, officer down. She's just busted, just totally muffustigated. Her whole face is screwed up to the point where she can never do her job again. And it's like, why do we put women in that position? Why do we, this PC world we live in where we can't say that, oh no, I don't think you're good for this job. Like, this chick was little. She was in her 40s. She looked like a school teacher. We aren't talking about Ronda Rousey here or something. And you can see it on video after video after video that involves the police. The female is generally the one that's, you know, she has the extra set of handcuffs or some shit. Like, you could see it whether it's patrol videos, whether it's jail videos, where like the men all jump on the person and then the female is off standing to the side like she's trying to maybe grab the feet or something once everything's done. But I don't know of too many females that are faster than me. So if I run away from you, you're done. And why isn't there a physical, like, this is for all police officers. Why are there so many fat police officers? I've seen it time and time again watching videos where, you know, the person goes running off and the police officer runs maybe 50 feet and they're like, calling in backup and shit. If you pull somebody over and you set in you set in motion, you know, you pull them over, they freak out, they run away from you, they're in that crazed mindset from that point on. And you're too fat to keep up with the chase. You're too female to keep up with the chase. You're both to keep up with the chase. And that person, you know, hops some fences and runs into me and my family in the backyard or something. And we become mixed in with this shit. Or I'm not home and my wife and my kids are out back or something. And it's because this female officer couldn't do her job correctly that now my family is in danger. And I mean, I swear you see it so often. You see these, you know, clearly lesbian, fat female officers. And it's like, come on. Why do we pretend like those chicks don't generally have problems with men? You know, the fanny pack lesbians that are only attractive to them, those chicks have huge chips on their shoulders. You know, they walk around pissed off at everybody. I mean, you see it all the time outside of the police force. To put a badge, to put power and a gun in their hands, that is crazy. You know, I would love to see I would love to hear arguments. I would love to hear somebody explain to me why females should be allowed to. I don't think guys should be gynecologists. That is fucking weird. You know, I don't understand why we live in this society where the PC thing has swung so far to the other side that it's gotten to be weird. I have to pretend like a fat female makes just as good a candidate as a 6'3" yoked out, male who doesn't fucking eat away his problems every night. I should feel like those guys are on equal playing fields. Like, I think females should maybe be detectives. I think detectives are cool. I'm not saying they have to be secretaries or something. But any position where they physically interact with people, they should not be allowed to do it. I don't think men should be guards at female prisons. Like you can be mad at me for saying this all you want, but it's not like it's I'm only females just can't. No, there are certain positions that I don't think they should be in. And really, the period thing is crazy. Because again, you don't know, and we're not allowed to talk about it. But like, if a female has bad periods, she should not be allowed to be in that position to where she can be irrational. She can be like biologically and naturally irrational to the point where afterwards she comes up and goes, "Yeah, I'm sorry. I was kind of I was off on my own little, like, come on now. It's bad enough that has to be your boss." You ever worked for females like that? You ever had a female boss where you knew, every week that she was on her period each month? You knew when that happened? It's crazy. It's so unfair. And then you always hear this thing with females talking about how they're we deal with it. You don't have to deal with it. We have to deal. Are you crazy? You're the ones that have the shit going on, and biologically and mentally and blah, blah, blah. We're the ones that everything's fine and you're just in a piece of shit mood. And we just got to be like, oh, okay, well, I guess I'll just wait. I'll just wait for a week until you're better again. Can't wait to do this again next month. I don't know, man. I think all police every year should have to go through a fucking physical. Should be going through a physical test. Not, the doctor's on the take, so they just show up and say, "Hey, buddy, how you doing? I haven't seen you in a while. Okay, I'm good to go. You're good to go. I'm good to go." And they leave. Cops should have to be able to complete an obstacle course every single year. When you get too old, when you get too fat, if we have to change the rules because you're a girl, you don't have to do it as fast or as long or as whatever. That's not equal, is it? I can't imagine a football team, doing the Brett Favre thing. It's happened. But it doesn't happen very much, especially not anymore, especially when there are millions of dollars on the line. When there are millions and billions of dollars on the line, people don't fuck around. Your 40 time goes from 440 or whatever to 460, you're done. There are 115 other guys that can run faster than you can. Why don't we do that with police officers? Police officers have such an important role in our society. Why isn't that reserved for the best of the best? They should absolutely be paid more, which will encourage better people to come in. And they should absolutely be put through more rigorous scrutiny. It's just, I don't understand that. I mean, we've literally had, like, there was some fat black chick cops that came to our house before. They were like, oh, no, I ain't going in there. You got dogs. I'm allergic to dogs. I can't go in there. You know, I've seen plenty of female cops that are not, you know, like as a man, as a human, but as a man, your existence is sort of sizing people up, right? Because as men, we're allowed to be punched in the face if we cross the line. Females, you don't experience that. But men, you know, we know if we bark up the wrong tree, we could get our asses whipped. And you know, you spend your life learning how to size people up. You can look at him, you could tell, oh, even though that guy's small, he looks like a badass. Now, there are plenty of people that don't look the part that are tough. No doubt. I'm not saying that I'm not saying everything is 100% across the board all the time. I'm sure there are exceptional females here and there that could do the patrol officer gig. You know. But this idea of sizing people up, like, you know, every single female officer I've ever seen, I've thought, well, I bet I could take her. And I'm 44. You know, in my 30s, in my 20s, yeah, no doubt. I'm definitely faster than she is. I'm definitely, you know, if I blast that female as hard as I can in the face, she's going to drop. Like, I've, you know, that seems like a given. And that's, like I say, we spend our lives Terminator style, looking at people, sizing them up. You know, can I take this person? Yeah. Can I take that person? No. Now, again, I've never seen a female that I just think, man, it's a good thing she's a cop. I bet she's a fair cop. I bet she doesn't have periods. I mean, the periods thing is huge. If you've ever lived with a female, been with a female for any lengthy period of time, like, we all experience that. Oh, no, it's that week again. Oh, fuck. To think that, like, if when I think about, like, my wife on her period given a gun and a badge, that's not the best thing in the world. She's very irritable. Well, at least she was. She's in pain. She's compromised. Your period is you being compromised. It's a beautiful, natural thing, blah, blah. Yeah, it's gross, and it's you being compromised. And I just, to me, it seems so, just doesn't make any sense. Female police officers don't make any sense. When would you ever think a female police officer would be a better situation than a male? But now, see, now, same time, I know as a female, like, it's weird, right? Because as a female, you automatically assume that everybody wants to fuck you all the time. So if the male officer has to search you, will you automatically assume that guy is getting his rocks off searching you? And that's just so unfair. Especially when you're not attractive. I don't understand, again, why we're so PC and like oblivious to shit. If you're not attractive, You're not attractive. Nobody is attracted to you. And if we paid cops more and we had a better system in place, we could vet those that do, like, you know, I absolutely think that if a credible complaint is made against a male officer for violating a female in some way and it's credible, he should be done. No more training, no nothing. There's no fixing that. There's no training that out of you. You violated, if you can violate someone and, you know, you can do it again. It's only hard shooting dope for the first time. Once you get over that needle, it's not that big a deal. And the reward is way worth it. Anyway, of course, there's no comments. I've got one person that's watching me. You know, got to have the constant Israeli monitor. You know, we're always being watched. As soon as I go live, there's always somebody, one person there. But of course, they don't say anything. So if I'm wrong about any of this shit, please let me know. Otherwise, females should not be allowed to be patrol officers or jail, you know, inmate guards, COs, or anything like that. Anything where they interact with people on a regular basis and put themselves and the other in a dangerous position. Detectives, higher ups in the, you know, inside the jails, the police office and all that. Yeah, that's fine. But out on the streets, no, that's dumb.